So you've got no idea how I feel.
A guitar riff fades into silence, and the world of rock loses another voice. Goodbye, Ozzy, and many with you. 2025 has hit the music world hard. From icons who redefined a genre to unsung legends who lit up every stage they touched, the losses have been heavy. These are the rock stars we lost in the recent months. Ozzy Osbourne, frontman of Black Sabbath. If you ever blasted Iron Man or Crazy Train until your neighbors banged on the walls, you already know. Ozzy Osbourne was more than a rock star. He was a force. As the frontman of Black Sabbath, he helped invent heavy metal, with a voice that sounded like it crawled out of the underworld and lyrics that turned darkness into poetry. His wild persona, biting the head off a bat, mumbling through reality shows,
T-shirt with cocaine on your fucking t-shirt,
made him a legend beyond the stage. But behind the spectacle was an artist who changed music forever. Even as health issues took their toll, Ozzy kept going. And on July 5th, 2025, he gave fans one final gift, a farewell performance in Birmingham, the city where it all began. Just 17 days later, on July 22nd, he passed away at 76, surrounded by family and love. For those of us who grew up screaming his lyrics, wearing the black eyeliner and feeling like outsiders, Ozzy wasn't just music, he was identity. His death feels like the gates of metal just closed behind him. But his voice still echoes through every amp, every riff, and every misfit who dares to be loud. Rest in peace.
And it's so you've got no idea how I feel. Man, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Brian Wilson, founding member of the Beach Boys. Brian Wilson didn't just write songs, he built soundscapes that felt like dreams. As the mastermind behind the Beach Boys, he gave us shimmering harmonies and aching beauty in equal measure. But Brian's genius came with a heavy toll. Mental health struggles haunted him, but his creativity never stopped flowing. On June 11th, 2025, he passed away at 82. For those of us who felt the emotion in every note, it was like losing the sun on a perfect California day. His melodies, they'll echo forever.
when life was to go on.
A lot of people still don't know what it is, to be honest with you.
Sal Maida. He wasn't a spotlight guy, but his bass lines helped shape some of the most inventive music of the 70s. From Roxy Music's theatrical cool to Sparks' chaotic brilliance, Sal brought subtle power to every track he touched. He even played in cult favorite Milk and Cookies, and later wrote a memoir that became a hidden gem of its own. On February 1st, 2025, Sal passed away at 76 after a fall, quietly, like the way he lived in the background of greatness. But for those of us who dig a little deeper, his legacy is loud and clear. Sal wasn't just part of the scene, he gave it rhythm. Brian James. Before punk had a face, Brian James gave it a sound. He wrote New Rose, Britain's first punk single, and with The Damned, he lit the fuse on a movement. His riffs were raw, fast, and furious. Brian passed away on March 6, 2025 at 70, leaving behind a legacy that still sneers from every garage and dive bar stage. For those of us who mosh and shout, his death was a gut punch. But punk never dies, and neither will his influence. Rick Buckler, drummer of The Jam. If you felt the urgency in The Jam's music, the tight beats, the punk precision, that was Rick Buckler holding it all down. He wasn't flashy, he was essential. On February 17, 2025, Rick died at 69 after a short illness. For those of us who blasted Going Underground and That's Entertainment, his drumming was the pulse of a generation, and now that it's gone, the silence is deafening. David Johansen. As the frontman of the New York Dolls, he swaggered through glam, punk, and rock with a snarl and a smirk. He was the last Doll standing until February 28, 2025, when he died at 75. For those of us who saw the beauty in the chaos, who lived for the lipstick, leather, and loud guitars, David's death was the end of a dangerous, dazzling era. But man, what a ride he gave us. Joey Mulland, guitarist of Badfinger. As Badfinger's guitarist, he stepped into a world of promise, signed to the Beatles label, produced by George Harrison, playing on No Matter What, Day After Day, and Baby Blue. They had the songs, the talent, and the backing, but behind the scenes, it all crumbled. Lawsuits, money gone, 2 bandmates lost to suicide. Joey kept the music alive, through solo albums, endless tours, and decades of stories no one else could tell. On March 1st, 2025, he passed away at 77 after complications from diabetes. For those of us who still hear the pain and beauty in those old records, his loss hits deep. He was the last light of a band that burned too hard, too fast. Rest in peace, Joey. Sly Stone didn't just change music, he detonated it and rebuilt it from the groove up. With Sly and the Family Stone, he broke boundaries, blending funk, soul, and rock into something revolutionary. His music wasn't just heard, it was felt. But behind the magic was a man fighting battles few could see. On June 9, 2025, Sly passed away at 82. For those of us raised on his electrifying rhythms and fearless spirit, it felt like the heartbeat of funk skipped for the last time. His riffs on Still of the Night and Cold Sweat were thunderbolts, electrifying every stage he touched.
Down here, I can't let go.
But behind the spotlight, Sykes fought a quiet battle with cancer. On January 20th, 2025, that battle ended at age 65. For those of us who worshipped his solos, who believed rock should always be loud and unapologetic, his death was a final, unwelcome fade-out, but his sound, untouchable. If Hang On Sloopy ever got stuck in your head, felt Rick Derringer's energy. He was everywhere, collaborating with legends, shredding solos for icons like Bonnie Tyler and Weird Al. But on May 26, 2025, he died at 77, leaving behind a legacy that stretched across genres and generations. For those of us who knew the name behind the riffs, Rick's passing felt like the final note of a song we didn't want to end. Their chords may have stopped, but their echoes still shake the walls of music history. Some were household names, others cult heroes. But each one added something unforgettable to the soundtrack of our lives. Which loss hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments and celebrate their legacy with us. If this year has felt especially heavy, you're not alone. More tributes are coming soon as we continue to honor the voices we've lost. Please like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected with these stories. Thank you for watching.